Welcome to Patriot Talk with Pike Road head football coach Granger Shook. Each week, Coach Shook will offer an in-depth look at his program as the Patriots again battle for championships. The show is brought to you by Sexton Tire, McKee and Associates, Nuke's Eatery, Halstead LLC, Hidden Oaks in Pike Road, and the Pike Road Patriot Fund. Get in touch with the show by calling 334-517-1210 or texting the Patriot Talk text box at 334-313-1170. Now, here with Coach Shook is Doug Amos.
And welcome back to the market at John Hall Store in the town of Pike Road. We missed you last week, everybody. It was not an off week. It was a bye week. I've learned this from Granger Shook, the head coach of the Pike Road Patriots. I hope you were able to do whatever a coach does during bye week successfully.
There you go. Yes, we went and scouted, and, our boys, I think, are ready to play and got a good group here tonight.
I'm excited about the three you brought. Yes. Jordan Holmes, we'll visit with him a little bit later on. He's a sophomore. Kason Myers, your freshman quarterback, is here with his family. Slayton Wortham, the senior offensive lineman here. And I love the fact that they bring their families with them. That's pretty cool.
It is. And so just excited to have those guys here and give them the platform to, represent not only the football program but the Pike Road School and community in a positive light, and those guys are excited to be here.
You got Russell County on the road this Friday night, tomorrow night. That's a region game. They've struggled this year. Hopefully you play your game tomorrow night and take care of business. Then you've got Stanhope Elmore and Carver Montgomery to close out region play. You've got the ball on your racket. I mean, the region championship is there for you to take.
Well, we are taking it, week by week and day by day. And, Russell County, their record does not dictate how, good they've played. They were beating some really good teams in the fourth quarter. Lanier and Stanhope, who are really good football teams. They were winning in the fourth quarter and just had some just wild things happen. Turnovers and a few, maybe iffy calls and got them in a negative light. But, again, this is a game that I want our players to understand that is a region game, and we have to come in with the right mindset.
Just as important as the Carver region game in a few weeks, right?
Yes.
But I need to ask you as a coach, how difficult is it to get the word across, to get that message across? Your kids have access to everything we have access to. It's right there on the tip of their fingers on their smart device. They see Russell County's record, and sometimes they don't look past that. It's your and your staff's job to make sure they get past that.
It is, and it is trying at times because social media is there, and, like you said, technology is right at their fingertips. And so but I think our players are maturing each and every week, and that's one thing I've challenged them to do is, we don't play the game on Monday and we don't play it on Tuesday. The game isn't played until Friday, and we dang sure don't play, the next opponent until the following week. So, I think our boys have taken that to heart. I thought we've had really good weeks of preparation leading up to this Russell County game. I expect us to play well. I expect us to start fast. One thing I've challenged our team to do is play for 4 quarters. We have not played 4 quarters of football yet, and that's one thing I really want to challenge our team to do this week.
Folks, we do want to remind you, we heard this from Michael Hennig last week, and we've got the box out here. If you are here for Patriot Talk, you need to come sign up, put your name on the sheet of paper, drop it in the box, and we're allowing each week people to register for that. And then the Patriot Talk show we have after the regular season ends, before the playoffs, we're going to draw for a 2-night trip to Mobile to the Battle House Renaissance Hotel and Spa. courtesy of the Pike Road Quarterback Club. So
that's right.
You've got to come sign up and put your name in the box. Your name could be the one drawn out. All you have to do is put your phone number, your first and last name, and a phone number, and we'll let you know who wins that in early November.
How cool is that? I mean, our quarterback
Thanks to
club,
Michael Hennig and the quarterback club. Yeah.
Michael's a dear friend of mine. We grew up together. He does so much in this community, as well as many others who are here tonight. He does so much for this football program. Doesn't really have a dog in the fight other than our friendship.
Sure.
And he went out of his way to get this for us to hopefully give somebody an incentive to support our program.
That's right.
And so couldn't be more grateful for Michael, his family, and our friendship and his support.
And we may try, quite frankly, to come up with some other things to draw for that night as well.
Absolutely.
Not just the trip, not just the grand prize, but
yes.
A lot of other prizes too. So you'll be doing yourself a disservice if you do not come and fill out one of the little sheets I brought, put it in the little pie box that I brought, and I'm going to give that to Turner Faulkner to keep in his car.
Yes, Turner.
If I keep it in my car, it's going to get smushed by equipment. Brian Harris can relate to that.
I trust Turner. He is Pike Road through and through, and I believe that if it is in his hands, we will get it next week.
Is there any concern at all when you have a bye week that you come back rusty? And because you'd built some great momentum, Coach. You've won 4 in a row. Mm-hmm. After the 2 losses to start the year against those 2 extremely high quality teams, you've won every game since. You beat Wetumpka, Lanier, Eufaula, and Park Crossing, 3 of those region games.
Yep.
Is it one of those deals where you're going, okay, I know we need an off week, but boy, I wish we didn't have it right now?
Well, I think our boys, I think everything happens for a reason, and I think our boys are well rested. Last week I thought Park Crossing played extremely hard. Park Crossing, I think our boys know each other. Anytime we play a Montgomery team, I think our boys either grew up playing with or against each other in youth league, and so there was definitely a lot of chatter going on the field. But I thought our boys handled that well. I thought we definitely played. I thought we came out ready to play. Now we may not have finished the game like we wanted to, but I thought we had a good lead, and our team was able to finish Park Crossing off for a good region win last week. So very, very thankful for how our guys prepared. Our staff had our boys ready. And Park Crossing was a good region win for us last week.
No doubt. Right back into region play this week. You say you went scouting. Did you learn anything you want to share with us?
Well, I know that there's a lot of good opponents coming up. Russell County being one, Stanhope Elmore being the next week. And so we are going to have, we are going to have to make sure that our boys are prepared tomorrow night and then going into Stanhope week next week for sure.
It's very important to state that this is your last road game.
It is.
Tomorrow night is it. You win there at Russell County, and then you've got the ball on your racket, and you never have to leave the friendly confines.
No doubt. As a matter of fact, I was talking about that with another coach today on the way here. I had to take a couple of white jerseys to the dry cleaners a couple of weeks ago. One of them was over there chewing on some wings.
I missed the bye week. It was 2 weeks ago. We're good.
No,
Thank you, Brian, for bringing that to my attention. So you get my age, you forget these things.
You're good. So I took a few white jerseys to the dry cleaners, and I made the point to say, hey, hopefully this is last week until about round 2 or round 3.
There you go.
So hopefully we have 5 weeks before we need to pull them back out.
Did beat Park Crossing last Friday, and then the bye week was after the Eufaula win. So, if you had to assess how you were playing, I know you didn't score but 3 points, I think, in the second half last week. Yeah, I think you were at 24-0 at the half.
Yep.
We were watching it at the Big Enterprises Scoreboard Show, keeping up with what you guys were doing. In a game like that, when you're dominant at the half, knowing that, that's not a region game, or that one was a region game. But does the mindset change when you feel like you've got it in hand, or did y'all just not play as well?
I don't. I think it was probably a little bit of both. I think. I think Park Crossing, like I said, played as hard and as well as they played all year. There were some players that they had that made some plays that they were not doing according to film that we had film prep on. And there was a point, where we had, it was 24-0 at half, and so I thought, I think our players may have thought they had it well in hand. And so that just, goes to kind of what I was saying earlier, that, I really want us to play 4 quarters of football no matter what the score says. I do not want that to take away from a region win that we won handedly. Our boys played extremely hard. They prepared well enough to win 27-0. I mean, a 4-score win is nothing to shake your head at. So I was extremely proud of how our boys competed and played. And so again, was it 4 quarters? Probably not. But again, that just encourages us and encourages me, the staff, the players, everybody, that when we do play 4 quarters of football, what this team can accomplish. And I think that is still on the horizon.
You sat right here at the market at John Hall store, and back in early September, and I remember asking you after the Hillcrest game, where is this team? And you said, we're getting better. We are absolutely getting better. And now you're seeing it on the field. If you had to assess where your team is right now with, 3 huge weeks in a row that will determine the region championship, about where you wanted to be, a little behind where you wanted to be, a little ahead?
I think we're just on track. And I think, there's guys like, Jordan and Kaysen and Slayton that we have here tonight. I think, Jordan played both ways for us last week. He didn't do that early in the season. I think Kaysen is making throws. I think Kaysen is making some adjustments. He's making some reads that he wasn't making, early in the year. And that's nobody's fault. It's just It's just
so
reps.
The growth and maturity.
It is. It's just reps. It's just, the staff and the players getting acquainted with one another. It's just something that comes with time. And I couldn't be more proud of Slayton and his senior class for continuing to buy in to this staff that, they inherited. And, I think as long as those things continue to happen, that, Pike Road will continue to play. And so I'm excited for the opportunity tomorrow night against Russell County and continue to see, Jordan and Case and Slayton continue to grow in their roles here on the team.
We'll go ahead and run through some of the numbers for these 2 guys that have stats, but you taught Slayton Wortham, an
yes.
offensive lineman, a good-sized young man that I know is Kaysen's probably very, very thankful that Slayton's on his team.
Absolutely.
Protecting the quarterback. But talk a little bit about him and what he's brought to the table.
Slayton is one of those young men who is a very hard worker. He does not say much. Coach Atkins and I were talking about it today that, Slayton has the same demeanor almost every day. He's very consistent in how he works and how he approaches practice and how he approaches the game. But Slayton is bought in. He has done everything we've asked him to do. He is a lead-by-example guy. And so I'm just extremely proud and thankful that Slayton and his senior class has bought into not only me, but into our entire staff. And if they wouldn't have, we wouldn't be where we are today.
Let's talk about Jordan Holmes a minute. Here's a young man that, if you just look at the numbers, would appear to be undersized a bit for 6A football. But, boy, he must have the heart of a champion.
He's a player.
Yep. He ran the ball once last week, had a 6-yard gain, caught 5 passes for 25 yards on the offensive side of the ball. On defense, 6 total tackles, including 3 solo tackles and an interception.
Yes.
I mean, that's a guy that's impacting the game most every snap, it seems.
There's no doubt. He started for us at corner every game. If he's not leading the team in tackles, he's in interceptions. He's second on the team in interceptions. He returns punts for us. He's on kickoff return, touching the ball. He's dynamic in the special teams for sure. And now that we've got him on the offensive side of the ball, we are looking to get the ball in his hands as often as possible. He is a hardworking young man. I mean, he doesn't say much, but he works. I don't think there's anybody on the team who works harder than he does. And so again, Jordan is a very dynamic young man, and I'm glad he's only a sophomore.
He's actually tied for the team lead in interceptions with 3, along with Trey Caver, and just really getting it done. Obviously, on that side of the ball with all that he does, I also think he returned some kicks for you too, doesn't
Absolutely.
he? He had a couple of returns on Friday night against Park Crossing. So this is a guy that you have out there quite frequently.
Yes, he doesn't come off the field very much, rightfully so. And again, he's only a sophomore. So I look forward to having him wearing that crest on that helmet for a long time.
Speaking of that, your quarterback's going to
Right.
have that crest on his helmet
Yes.
for quite some time.
Yes.
The freshman starter, Kason Myers, 6'2", 175 against Park Crossing. He had a really nice game.
Yes.
He was 22 of 31 for 188 yards and a touchdown. Seems to me to be the guy that is growing in confidence, growing in knowing what you're wanting, what your coordinators are wanting on the offensive side of the football.
Absolutely. And Kason, he is just a sponge, man. He asks the right questions. He says the right things. His demeanor is growing. Our players are obviously following him at this point in the season, or we would not be winning, the games we are. And so, again, just extremely encouraged and proud of how Kason and Jordan and Slayton are playing at this junction in the season. We're going into week 7, but our vision as a staff, our vision as a program is that we are not halfway done yet. And so there's a long way to go, and a team as young as we are, I expect for us to continue to grow, expect us to continue to mature throughout the season.
You just brought that up. As we go to break, I want you to comment on this. You just used the word as young as we are. Yet you've brought in some really good senior leaders
Yes.
for Patriot Talk as well, but a bunch of underclassmen. Would you say your team is a young team, a mixed team with youth and experience and leadership? Where would you classify this team?
We are a mixed team. I think we have some seniors who are great leaders for us, like Sid and Mac and Malik and Slayton, who's here tonight, Trey Caver and Cody Markham. I mean, the list goes on. But some of those guys are playing different spots on the field, and so they are still growing into that avenue. But I do think we have some young guys in some key positions. I think we have some young guys who are playing on both sides of the ball, who we're trying to get the ball in their hands as the season goes. And so I think it's a very good combination of experience and youth that can hopefully propel us through a deep playoff run.
I say we bring in the offensive lineman first. Slayton Wortham, he's the guy that's given Kason Myers time to find guys like Jordan Holmes.
That's right.
We will bring, when we return, Slayton Wortham, the senior offensive lineman. You are listening to Patriot Talk from the market at Pike Road's John Hall store. Come and see us. We're having a big time on a Thursday.
Thank you.
Come discover a more familiar way of life in Pike Road's newest development, Hidden Oaks. Build your dream home in nature without all the traffic. Located just minutes from the Pike Road Town Center, Publix, restaurants, and additional shopping, you won't have to go far for anything you might need. Hidden Oaks features incredible access to I-85 and Vaughn Road while still retaining its profound beauty and privacy. Auburn, Lake Martin, and downtown Montgomery are just a short drive away. With Site Pros getting the lots ready to build on, claim your spot now. To find out more about Hidden Oaks, go to hiddenoaksal.com.
Sexton Tire Pros is home of the hassle-free guarantee. They make taking care of your tires simpler by offering a straightforward approach to tire and auto service that includes nationwide warranties, a hassle-free experience, and major brands like Michelin and BF Goodrich. For whatever you drive, Michelin is a tire to fit any need. Sexton Tire Pros, hassle-free, guaranteed. Find out more online at sextontirepros.com.
I hit a bump in the road, I got a nail in my tire. The muffler is loose, the steering no power. At Sexton Tire Pros, we're one of the few where everything we do rotates around you. Sexton.
The Pike Road Patriot Fund's goal is to raise money to support arts and athletic programs at Pike Road School. Over $100,000 has been raised over the years, and the monies have contributed to almost every sport and student organization. Thanks to the people attending and sponsoring the annual Crawfish Boil, which makes it easier to provide much-needed support to teachers and coaches. Visit www.prpatriotfund.com for more information.
Fueled by the vision of 3 generations of leaders with backgrounds in engineering, construction, and finance, Halstead has left an indelible mark of quality on the retail and multifamily landscape throughout the Southeast for more than 70 years. Halstead has built a diversified real estate portfolio across 14 states, featuring some of the best-known name brands in America. Call Halstead Contractors at 334-288-2330. Halstead is a proud supporter of Pike Road Patriot football.
It's year 7 of the Pig Enterprises Scoreboard Show. This is Doug Amos inviting you to join me and special guests each Friday night from 9 to 11 right here on WTXK, ESPN The Ticket in the River Region. You can listen online as well on roundtablebroadcast.com. We'll have a great time on remote at different high school games and in the studio. It's going to be a great, great year. Follow all your high school football scores right here on ESPN The Ticket.
Nuke's Eatery offers catering, from box lunches to full platters and whole cakes. We'll make sure everything exceeds your expectation. Our catering specialists can build custom platters like the bruschetta platter. Everything will look great and everyone will be satisfied. Nuke's Eatery. We cater, you party. In Dothan, 334-699-1667. Or in Montgomery, 334-414-1759.
You're listening to Patriot Talk with Pike Road head football coach Granger Shook. To be part of the show, call 334-517-1210 or text the Patriot Talk text box at 334-313-1170. Now back to Coach Shook and Doug Amos.
All right, we're back at the market at John Hall Store in the town of Pike Road. It is week 7 approaching of Pike Road Patriot football. Doug Amos and Granger Shook. And, Coach, you've been raving about this guy, Slayton Wortham. He's got size to play at the next level, that's for sure.
He does, absolutely. And, you know, I think Slayton not only has the size, but he's very smart. I think he has the work ethic. Very proud of how Slayton has done not only this season on the field, but in the weight room. And he has the grades to back it up as well. So I'm glad to have Slayton Wortham with us tonight.
Talk, if you would, Slayton. First, welcome to the program. Great seeing you, buddy. Talk about the weight program and what you think the kind of impact it's had on you, say from summer to where you are now.
It's been phenomenal, man. Ever since we started training, it's just been a lot of grind, a lot of work, take no days off. And it's been great. He's been treating us right, you know, with recovery, stretching, all that. Especially with Coach Soot bringing in snacks, helping us recover from school.
He never brings me snacks. I don't see any snacks here. What are you talking snacks? Hey, I wanted to ask you this, though. You know, I can tell what you're saying every day. Don't stop working. Those are words that are coming from a leader. You know, like I got a feeling you've been barking some of those words in the locker room to some of the younger guys. Talk about your role on this team in that regard.
Well, I just try to keep them – I just try to make them focus. Just don't lose track of what the goal is. And, you know, we have our ups and downs where people get out of line and stuff. And I just try to keep them
because we're human, right, Slayton?
Exactly.
It happens.
It does.
How much better is this team now than you were the first part of September, in your opinion?
We've been continuously progressing every week. Like I say, I wouldn't count the first 2 games as losses. I'll just say it was lessons for us.
I love that. Lessons, not losses, huh,
man,
Coach?
I love it.
Sounds
Yes.
like you did you hear that
Absolutely.
from somebody?
He is a sponge for sure.
I love that. You know, I want you to comment on this.
Yeah.
It's really an offensive lineman.
Right.
And how many times do their names get in the paper? How many times do they hear their names on TV? How many times are they mentioned? Yet none of those dudes that are getting on TV or are getting their names in the paper do jack without guys like Slade.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt. And so I try to make a point of that. And I think our running back coach, Coach Adams, I think our offensive coordinator, Coach Thacker, I think Coach Clark, Coach Jones, I think all those guys try to make it a point to emphasize to their position groups that, hey, you don't get those stats, you don't get those yards, you don't get the time without Slayton and crew. And, again, our offense would not have the production it has without Slayton and his buy-in and his leadership on the offensive line, and I couldn't be more proud or happy for him right now.
Slayton, tell me this. Who's Sharitha?
That's my mother.
Well, she's watching on Pike Road Live and watching you. Says, go Slayton, go Patriots. Yeah, tell her hello there, man. It's, you never get enough time of saying hi to your mama.
No doubt.
Talk about, from your perspective, the development of Cason Myers, a freshman quarterback that you guys are protecting back there.
Well, at first, it was kind of rocky. He had to kind of get used to how our offensive line plays. He just had to get used to how we play the game. So I feel like he's been doing very well.
He's growing, isn't he?
He is.
And he's going to be around for a long time, and that puts a smile on the head coach's face. All right, here we go. Tell me one thing, Slayton, that you learned today, my friend.
I learned what a columnar cell is in anatomy.
Do I want to know what a columnar cell is in anatomy there, Slayton?
It basically protects the stomach from ingesting any bad bacteria.
But it doesn't keep it from growing, unfortunately.
There you go.
Slayton.
As we're woofing down.
Yeah, as your dad's over there on the eve of his birthday, slamming them down over there.
Yes.
Hey, man, it's great seeing you. Congratulations. Thanks for
Great job.
representing this school in an
Absolutely.
incredible way. How about a big hand for Slayton Wortham, senior offensive lineman for the Pike Road Patriots. We'll go ahead and take another break. We'll get back, and we'll welcome in Jordan Holmes next, the defensive back, wide receiver, return specialist. I can't wait to talk to this spark plug. It is Pike Road's big game tomorrow night on the road. It is another region game. You've heard us tell you about it. A big, big game at Russell County. We'll dig into that a little bit more as well. You're listening to Patriot Talk from the Pike Road's Market at John Hall store. Back right after this.
Fueled by the vision of 3 generations of leaders with backgrounds in engineering, construction, and finance, Halstead has left an indelible mark of quality on the retail and multifamily landscape throughout the Southeast for more than 70 years. Halstead has built a diversified real estate portfolio across 14 states, featuring some of the best-known name brands in America. Call Halstead Contractors at 334-288-2330.
Hey, Jordan, Doug
Halstead
Amos.
is a
Good to
proud
see you, buddy.
supporter of Pike Road Patriot football.
The Cuban. It's a sandwich with
What, in
a
a
rich
play?
culinary tradition. And at Nuke's, we don't mess
he
with
was
tradition.
in the
we
video.
just build upon it. Starting the
You were
Nuke's
the
Cuban
Friday
with
the- I
prime
love
pork
that.
tenderloin that's hand-rubbed with secret
I love that.
spices
They're
and
following
brined to
me.
perfection. Then
I
we layer
watched
on
it.
ham,
They're
Swiss,
following
mustard,
me.
and pickles. No
classic.
shortcuts, nothing pre-made. Just the perfect Cuban.
What?
As
Exactly.
traditions
Could
go,
be.
it's a tasty one. Get the Cuban for a
What y'all
limited time
call
at
that?
Nuke's Eatery.
It's year 7
And
of
they
the
can go
Pig
to
Enterprises
Pike Road Live and
Scoreboard
see
Show.
it.
This is Doug Amos inviting you to join me and special guests each
it have
Friday
a
night
title?
from 9 to 11 right here on WTXK, ESPN The Ticket in the River
Pike Road
region. You
Live
can
right
listen
here.
online
Will it
as
be under
well
videos?
on roundtablebroadcast.com. We'll have a great time
Yeah, there it
on
is
promote at different high school games. And in the studio, it's going to be a great, great year. Follow all your high school football
Do me a
scores
favor, Jordan,
right
when you
here
put that on, put it about a
ESPN
half
The
an
Ticket.
inch from your mouth.
Come discover a more familiar way of life in Pike Road's newest development, Hidden Oaks. Build your dream home in nature without all the traffic. Located just minutes from the Pike Road Town Center, Publix, restaurants, and additional shopping, you won't have to go far for anything you might need. Hidden Oaks features incredible access to I-85 and Vaughn Road while
There you
still
go.
retaining its profound beauty and privacy. Auburn, Lake Martin, and downtown Montgomery are just a short drive away. With site pros getting the lots ready to build on, claim your spot now. To find out more about Hidden Oaks, go to hiddenoaksal.com.
The Pike Road Patriot Fund's goal is to raise money to support arts and athletic programs at Pike Road School. Over $100,000 has been raised over the years, and the monies have contributed to almost every sport and student organization. Thanks to the people attending and sponsoring the annual Crawfish Boil, which makes it easier to provide much-needed support to teachers and coaches. Visit www.prpatriotfund.com for more information.
Sexton Tire Pros is home of the hassle-free guarantee. They make taking care of your tires simpler, offering a straightforward approach to tire and auto service that includes nationwide warranties, a hassle-free experience, and major brands like Michelin and BF Goodrich. For whatever you drive, Michelin is a tire to fit any need. Sexton Tire Pros, hassle-free, guaranteed. Find out more online at sextontirepros.com.
I hit a bump in the road, I got a nail in my tire.
Has the actor's guild gotten in touch with him yet?
The steering no power. Sexton Tire Pros, we're one of the few where everything we do rotates around you. Sexton.
How much time, Brian, did y'all put into that?
You're listening to Patriot Talk with Pike Road head football coach Granger Shook. To be part of the show, call 334-517-1210 or text the Patriot Talk text box at 334-313-1170. Now back to Coach Shook and Doug Amos.
All right, we're at the market at John Hall Store. Big crowd showing up here as it always does on a Thursday night. Great to have everybody in attendance. We're getting everybody to sign up for the Battle House Hotel Getaway 2 nights down in Mobile. It's a Renaissance property. I've been told by Turner that it's an older building that's been redone, and that's right in my wheelhouse. So
Me too.
I wish I were eligible, but I'm not.
You and me both.
Yeah, neither you or I are eligible to do that. Before we bring in Jordan Holmes, I got to talk about this video. And it's at Pike Road Live. You can go watch it right now. If you go to Pike Road Live on YouTube and just click the videos tab, the first video is Friday the 13th at Pike Road. We know that tomorrow night's game is played on Friday the 13th.
Right.
Brian Harrison, I think some students were involved in the filming of this, or was it all your staff? Yeah, it's the staff of Dogwood, which is the most talented media staff there is.
Dogwood does a phenomenal job.
Oh gosh, he leads the beats the drum for the live broadcast of sporting events, for all of these things. He's here doing this as well. He takes care of my website. I couldn't imagine dealing with anybody other than Dogwood.
Absolutely not.
And Brian Harris. But this was something really, really special.
Yes.
You loved it. I know Jordan loved
love it.
We're going to get to him in a minute, but go watch it. It literally is a play on Friday the 13th. Halloween, all these movies with all these scary people, and they were all following him around. And I want
to know how Jordan got the lead role.
Yeah, how did you get the lead role? Probably because of that smile is going to be my guess.
Absolutely.
Did you have a good time doing that, brother?
Oh, yes, sir.
That was bend that in just a little bit if you don't mind. That is so cool. Brian says it took about 3 hours worth of filming. You were loving every minute of it, weren't you?
Oh yeah. Me, Sid, Caleb, Mason. We had a good time.
That just was so cool. I would have loved to have been out there and seen the filming of that. But go watch it. That is a Dogwood Media production, and star of the show, Jordan Holmes. You're now going to be a part of the Screen Actors Guild, I think, pretty soon. But before that, we got a lot of high school football games to play. You've turned into an all-purpose dude. You know, you just don't have one responsibility anymore. You're a defensive back, you're a return specialist, you're a receiver, you even had a carry the other day. Talk a little bit about how much that means to you to have such a big role.
Yeah, so, you know, started the year playing defense, you know, because, you know, just fulfilling my potential. Because last year, you know, I ain't really, you know, touched the field.
I understand.
You know, my whole life I played offense. So, you know, getting to interact with both.
You know them both, right? So
Yes,
you
sir.
feel comfortable.
Yes, sir.
No matter. Talk about what, because I still remember, I believe you said it after Hillcrest.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think you said we're going to have some guys that are going to start playing on both sides of the ball.
Absolutely.
You're going to have to get your best guys out there, even if it means doing double duty.
Absolutely, and that's really not the norm in 6A football, but we knew as a staff moving forward, we really knew it leading into the Marist game, but we had to allow some of our players to really get comfortable in the new schemes on one side of the ball before we stretch them thin on both sides. And so now that we're in region play, we're in October, the weather's changing, it's getting colder, it's feeling like football, everybody's getting excited. And so Jordan Holmes, and there's going to be some other guys who are playing on both sides of the ball that are going to allow us to hopefully reach our potential as a team for this season.
I asked Slayton this question, Jordan, I'm going to ask you. How much better is this team getting week to week, in your opinion?
Oh, a lot better. You know, we just had to find our comfort zone. You know, had a lot of people, you know, didn't ride with us from start to now, but we getting better every day. You know, Coach Shook and the staff pushing us.
Slayton said that the time in the weight room's meaning a lot to this team, and
Oh, yeah.
he even mentioned the snacks. Loves the snacks during the day.
Cheez-Its.
Hey, here's the deal, okay? Next week, I want snacks. You get this man to bring – I'm just kidding. But talk about that relationship with the new staff and trusting in them to do the right thing for you guys. That's a big step for a young team.
Oh, yeah, sir. You know, some of the guys from last year, you know, we had an outcome we wanted. So, we knew we was going to have a new staff that was going to push us, let us get better, you know, trusting us, believing us. Yes, sir, every day.
It's a two-way street, isn't it? Because if they trust in you, then you can begin trusting in them, and they're going to buy into what you're telling them.
Absolutely. And so, you know, going into week 7, I think our staff has a really good grasp on what not only Jordan but his teammates can do and what they feel comfortable doing. I think that's a big key up to it. We like to play fast on offense. We play some offenses that play fast as well. So defensively, offensively, we have to understand what plays we have that our players can just line up. Hey, we know what to do against an even front. We know what to do against an odd front. We know what to do against one high. We know what to do against two high. And, you know, it takes a few weeks for a new staff and a young team to get that gel together. And I think we're going in the right direction.
So I need to ask you a hypothetical, never going to come true question, okay? Because I just want to hear your answer.
Yes, sir.
If you could only do one thing, what would it be? You can only play defensive back, you can only play wide receiver, or you could only return kicks. You can only do one of the three.
Defensive back.
Defensive back.
Yes, sir.
Close your ears, Coach. He wants to be on the offensive side, too. I can assure you. He wants to get in that end zone a few times.
He will be.
All right, here it is. I'm waiting to the end for you guys because I want to get to know you a little bit. Coach Shook, for as long as I've known him, and I've been with him a long time now, he absolutely emphasizes, and this is just really more for our viewers and listeners than anything else, that you guys aren't just 100% football, that it's not 24/7 football. He knows you're there to get an education and to learn.
Yes, sir.
And so he literally threatens you guys. He's going to ask you something about what you learned today, and whoever he asks better than to have an answer.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm asking you today, what did you learn?
My math class, Algebra 1, we learned about two-step equations. You know how to X out the variable.
No, I don't know. I don't know how. I do really. You X out on both sides, right?
Yes, sir.
See, I'm not all that stupid.
Y'all did that at JD.
We did do that.
Yes.
At least they tell me we did, I guess. So that's pretty cool. You like? Are you a math guy? What's your favorite subject?
Math.
Is it really? Mine
Yes, sir.
was too.
Yes.
Have you done geometry yet?
Oh, I did that last
Like
year.
5th grade, and for me it was 10th grade. They're probably doing it in 5th grade now. Man, it's great seeing you.
Yes, sir.
I love the video. It's classic. We want to send everybody that has not seen the video, go to Pike Road Live on YouTube, click videos, and it's Friday the 13th at Pike Road. And they're not chasing you, brother. You're good. You did a great job of playing the part.
How talented is Jordan?
Very,
very talented.
very.
Yes.
Something tells me that when Brian wants to do another video, you're going to be the first call.
I hope so.
Hold out for more. It's good seeing you, man.
Yes, sir.
Take care. That is big hand for Jordan Holmes, a sophomore defensive back, wide receiver, and return man. I love that type stuff. Here's what we're going to do.
Yes.
We're going to go ahead and take another break, get back, and bring in the quarterback.
Okay.
Kason Myers, the freshman. I got to visit with his dad, Chris, earlier. And, I'll tell you what, before we do, I want to ask you a question.
What you got?
I think every coach at every level has been asked this question this week. And I'm not going to ask you to be specific, but there were some absolute dumbfounding decisions made at the end of football games this weekend. We'll stick with the one that literally cost the team a win. What is your philosophy? And I'm sure now that also every coaching staff is talking about it amongst themselves, how they're going to communicate when they're in a kneel-down situation, when you can add up the seconds, know the play clock, know about what you have, and why it would seem to me to be the last thing you'd want to do is run a play. In fact, Chris goes, the best play in football is when your quarterback in victory formation can get down on the knee.
That's right.
Tell me about what your philosophy is.
Well, we as a staff, we meet probably too much at times, but that is something that we go in preseason with a plan. And Coach Thacker and the offensive staff, we have a chart on our play sheet that allows us to see when the defense or the opposing team has X amount of timeouts, how much time, how many seconds are on the clock to when we can start taking the victory formation. And so that is already scripted out. We have that planned out. We have talked about it. We thought about it. We've met on it multiple times. And so that is just something that, you try to have a plan for everything. It's unfortunate that happened to Miami. If you watch the Alabama game, Coach Saban
it happened a little bit at Alabama.
Coach Saban wasn't really happy when he threw that ball out of bounds.
Yeah.
So it almost happened to them. But again, there are things that come up that you just don't have time to go over. And when you're talking about young men, 14, 15, 16-year-old young men, issues, mistakes happen. But I do think that this staff has done a good job of trying to have a plan for later in the game, depending on the situation.
I got to tell you one quick story. Then we're going to go to break and bring in Kason Myers. Your college coach.
Right.
His show was last night.
Yes.
He had not seen it nor known anything about it.
Nor should he.
We did our best to bring him up to date. He went home and watched it, and he had a absolute burn down
I bet he had a conniption.
about it. Yes.
I bet he had a conniption.
He literally had some really strong things to say.
I can hear him right now.
About a college coach at that level not doing right there what's in front
seconds.
of you.
No timeouts. What are we doing?
And the play clock's above 26 seconds.
Yes.
It's literally, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing? Here's what we're doing here on Patriot Talk. Kason Myers, the freshman quarterback. He ain't playing like a freshman, folks.
Right.
He'll join us when Patriot Talk rolls on right after this from the market at John Hall Store.
107.5 is W298 BC Montgomery. ESPN The Ticket.
Salads can be more than, salads. Like the new seared ahi tuna or shrimp and avocado salads at Nuke's Eatery. Both deliver impeccably indulgent flavors like seared sushi-grade tuna or plump broiled shrimp, along with our house-made dressings, ginger wasabi or lemon basil vinaigrette. Try one of these extraordinary salads today, only at Nuke's Eatery.
Located in Montgomery at Taylor and Vaughan, Tigertown, Opelika, and in the heart of Auburn.
Sexton Tire Pros is home of the hassle-free guarantee. They make taking care of your tires simpler by offering a straightforward approach to tire and auto service that includes nationwide warranties, a hassle-free experience, and major brands like Michelin and BF Goodrich. For whatever you drive, Michelin is a tire to fit any need. Sexton Tire Pros, hassle-free, guaranteed. Find out more online at sextontirepros.com.
I hit a bump in the road, I got a nail in my tire. The muffler is loose, the steering no power. At Sexton Tire Pros, we're one of the few where everything we do rotates around you. Sexton.
Come discover a more familiar way of life in Pike Road's newest development, Hidden Oaks. Build your dream home in nature without all the traffic. Located just minutes from the Pike Road Town Center, Publix, restaurants, and additional shopping, you won't have to go far for anything you might need. Hidden Oaks features incredible access to I-85 and Vaughan Road while still retaining its profound beauty and privacy. Auburn, Lake Martin, and downtown Montgomery are just a short drive away. With site pros getting the lots ready to build on, claim your spot now. To find out more about Hidden Oaks, go to hiddenoaksal.com.
Fueled by the vision of 3 generations of leaders with backgrounds in engineering, construction, and finance, Halstead has left an indelible mark of quality on the retail and multifamily landscape throughout the Southeast for more than 70 years. Halstead has built a diversified real estate portfolio across 14 states, featuring some of the best-known name brands in America. Call Halstead Contractors at 334-288-2330. Halstead is a proud supporter of Pike Road Patriot football.
The Pike Road Patriot Fund's goal is to raise money to support arts and athletic programs at Pike Road School. Over $100,000 has been raised over the years, and the monies have contributed to almost every sport and student organization. Thanks to the people attending and sponsoring the annual Crawfish Boil, which makes it easier to provide much-needed support to teachers and coaches. Visit www.prpatriotfund.com for more information.
It's year 7 of the Pig Enterprises Scoreboard Show. This is Doug Amos inviting you to join me and special guests each Friday night from 9 to 11 right here on WTXK, ESPN The Ticket in the River Region. You can listen online as well on roundtablebroadcast.com. We'll have a great time on remote at different high school games and in the studio. It's going to be a great year. Follow all your high school football scores right here on ESPN The Ticket.
Your NASCAR station in the River Region is WTXK, Pike Road, Montgomery, ESPN The Ticket. You're listening to Patriot Talk with Pike Road head football coach Granger Shook. To be part of the show, call 334-517-1210 or text the Patriot Talk text box at 334-313-1170. Now back to Coach Shook and Doug Amos.
All right, before we get to our visit with Kason Myers, I wanted to shout out to Linda Holmes.
Yes.
Obviously in Jordan's family, very proud of him, as all we
as
all,
she should
all
be.
are. She
yes.
should be.
Yes.
No doubt about it. Also, Kwame Lewis and Yetta Hurd. She loves you, Jordan. A lot of people pulling for Jordan tonight on the broadcast for sure.
I love it.
And, hey, we got a question for Kason coming in here, and we'll see what that one is. Oh, boy, that looks like a complicated one. We may or may not ask him that one, unless it's a setup question. But it's from Coach Thacker.
I'm sure Coach Thacker's. I'm sure he can handle it.
Okay, then I'm going to just throw it right at you. We're just going to get tough on you right out of the gate.
All right.
If you could name an offensive play, what 90s country song would you name it after and why?
Oh, man, put me on the spot.
That's what I thought. I thought it was way out of line, but Coach Thacker is literally coming after you.
John Anderson guy.
All right, so you do this. You got the rest of the interview to think about
There
it.
you
So
go.
I got a feeling you're able to multitask a little bit.
He is.
You be thinking, you got Mom over there. She may help you a little bit.
He's got George Strait, John Anderson. There's
all
several.
those guys.
There's several
Yeah, I'm
guys he can
sure.
talk
I'm
about.
sure.
Yeah.
Tell us about what this guy has meant to your team as a freshman and
Yes.
the growth you've seen, not only while the clock's running, but how he's handled the huddle and how he's handled the practices.
Yes. I mean, there's no more pressure on any football player or really any athlete than there is a quarterback on a football team. And there's no more pressure on any other athlete than a quarterback on a successful football team.
He touches the ball on every offensive play.
Touches the ball every time. And, you know, if Kaysen messes up, everybody knows it. If Kaysen doesn't mess up and the wide receiver runs the wrong route, everybody thinks Kaysen messed up.
Right.
You know, so, I mean, there's just so many different variables that go into play that he's got to take responsibility for that he may or may not be responsible for. And so couldn't be more proud of the growth and development and maturation that he has shown. Our team is definitely responding well to it. There's no doubt in my mind that we're on a 4-game winning streak because of him and Jordan and Slayton but again, just extremely proud of his growth.
How much do you feel you've developed since the last Friday in August to where we are now in mid-October?
A whole lot, for sure. Every week, just get better as a team and as a player, mentally and physically.
You know, he said something after the Hillcrest loss that stuck with me. He says, we just got to keep getting one day better.
That's right.
One week better. And it seems like you guys are following suit on that you are getting better each week.
Yes, sir, for sure.
So I'm going to go over his numbers and you speak to them. There are a lot of seniors that don't have numbers like this, completing really close to 70% of his passes on the year, 7 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions, 1,100 yards.
1,100 already.
Passing.
Yep.
You know, those are some numbers. If you were telling me that Kaysen was a senior, I would go, that's a pretty good year.
Very good.
He's a 9th grader, for heaven's sake.
Well, I mean, not only does he have 1,100 yards, you know, at his age, we also have a pretty good running back who has a lot of yards rushing. You know what I mean? And so
I think he's really good.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with Mike Jones with some good numbers for sure.
And so, you know, Mike Jones and AT and Pat Carter and, you know, our offensive line is just doing a great job as paving the way for those guys and then protecting Kaysen to allow him to distribute the ball, you know. And so extremely proud of Kaysen, the yards he's putting up, the accolades he's receiving. Rightfully so. He's deserving of all that. And I'm just proud of the humility as to which he's receiving them, and just proud of the leadership that he's displaying at a young age.
Kaysen, I've heard this, never played quarterback, and if it wasn't a pickup game in the backyard, okay, so I can't relate to it, but I want you to tell me if it's actually true. You know, when you start out, probably at the beginning of the year, the game was probably moving at breakneck speed, probably really, really fast. And it's hard to really kind of catch up, right? I'm guessing that it's slowed down a bit for you now. Can you talk about that?
The game is definitely slowed down. That first drive, it definitely was moving a little bit fast. And coming from middle school, it sped up a little bit, but it's definitely slowed down throughout the games, and it got slower each game.
Can't you tell when that starts to happen as a head coach?
Yes.
When it starts to click?
Yes, and we have mentioned that as a staff in our staff meetings, you know, about Kaysen. I mean, again, those first 2 opponents that he faced as a freshman, coming from a Monday quarterback at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, whenever we kicked off as a JV group.
To 2 of the best teams in 2
of the best teams in Georgia and in Alabama. Yes, that game was moving really fast, but he didn't flinch. He didn't bat an eye. He came to work that Sunday, came to work Monday, Tuesday, so on, and he got better. And he bought in, and he continued to chip away And our team saw that, and our team followed that, and our team followed suit. And so we're just proud of him.
I see 6'2", 175 as a freshman.
Right.
I'm thinking that frame can get bigger and stronger and carry more weight and more muscle.
That is
as he develops as a player.
That is what several colleges are seeing. You know, there's people that have a lot of that are waiting, you know, to see how Kaysen continues to grow and develop and all that. But again, sky's the limit for Kaysen. Extremely proud of how he's played up to this point. I know he's not satisfied. I know our team is not. I know he's going to come ready and hungry and ready to work tomorrow. And so again, just extremely proud and thankful that he is a Pike Road Patriot.
You know, he's going to be real thankful. I'm about to ask him this. I need to know one thing that you learned today, young man.
All right. I had history class today, and we learned about the French Revolution and how they revolted because of taxes, and how the lower classes had to pay taxes and the highers didn't. So they were mad about that, and how they were majority.
Sounds like history's repeating itself a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Hey, it's man, it's great meeting you. Next time, say you want to be in on the movie. Okay.
Oh yeah. I'll practice my acting skills for that.
Next movie, you're gonna be co-hosts with or co-stars with you and Jordan. Great seeing you, buddy. How about a big hand for the Patriots quarterback Kaysen Myers, the freshman. Tomorrow night, it is a road region game, and it is a big game because it is the net. By the way, Kylie. Oh, put that headset back on. He thought he got past the country
song.
Hold on.
Thing. Tell Mama to tune back in.
Yeah, Mama's got to tune back in. We've got to find out about the country song.
Who's Kylie?
If you had a play and you could name it after a country song, what's the name of it and why?
All right. Well, I've linked to a play and a song together. They go together. I'll say Florida, the play called Florida, and Seminole Win by John Anderson.
Oh, that's too good. That's too good. He nailed it.
He did.
He nailed it. He did. That was tougher than history class today, I think.
That was a tough question.
Yeah, that was.
Yes.
Thanks, man. Kaysen, we appreciate it. I love it very much. Kylie says, let's go, Kaysen. Kylie M., whoever Kylie M. is, said, let's go, Kaysen. It's your sister? There you go. Sis is checking in. You got to love that. Let's talk about tomorrow. You know, I always get you because I like to kind of live vicariously through you and your team. You're on the road tomorrow.
We are.
Give us the breakdown of the day, how things are going to play out.
We luckily, you know, our administration has allowed us to have, you know, first and second period football. So we were able to have walkthroughs and film sessions during the day, during the class day. So from 8 to 9, we'll have our guys and we'll do walkthroughs and film. We'll make sure we're packed. We are going to check out a little early. We're going to check out around 2:15. We're going to load the buses, head to Russell County, where we will stop. Our quarterback club, as always, has provided a pregame meal. And so
on the road. And so we are stopping midway to Russell County, and we're going to have a pregame meal. I want to do that intentionally because I suspect that we will, you know, potentially have a road game in the playoffs, and I don't want I don't want us to have a long. I don't want us to check out for the first time and have a meal for the first time on the road in the playoffs. So we're doing it now. And then our quarterback club has also provided a post-game meal. And so we are going to make sure that our boys stay fed and make sure that they have what they need to be successful. Game is at 7. It says 8 o'clock, but it's 7 o'clock.
8 Eastern,
yeah,
7 Central. All AHS AA games are at 7 Central.
All right, that's what I
thought. So I don't want any of our fans to fret that.
To look on the website here and see.
It is 7 Central kickoff. So you arrive at Russell County just like you would at Pike Road, and the kickoff will be at 7 Central.
By the way, you may be interested in this. Brian Harris, who's the executive producer, director of all Pike Road Live Films, says Kaysen will be in the next video.
Okay.
And it films next week. There you go.
There you go.
That's pretty neat. I just like to know when the show host is going to be in one and when the head coach is going to be in one.
Amen. But you know what?
I mean, we're like he said, you are in one every week. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Tell Kaysen it's not what you know, it's who you know.
That's
right?
exactly right.
Yes.
Okay, so region game, big game. It is. I said it earlier in the show, and I wasn't kidding. This game's every bit as important as the Carver game. You don't think it's important, go lose it, and then find out how important it is.
That's what a lot of prominent coaches have said. This is, I hope it's leading up like a trap game. It's sandwiched in between. It's right before two, closer region opponents.
River region opponents.
Yes, and so Russell County's schedule does not at all dictate the type of opponent they are. They were beating Lanier. They were beating Stanhope in the fourth quarter and had some outrageous events happen to cause them to lose the game. And so I just don't want our boys to think that they're going to roll their helmet out there and think that because they're Pike Road that they're going to win. No, Russell County is going to be motivated to win tomorrow night, and we're going to have to play our caliber of ball to be successful.
Big thank you to Jordan Holmes, Kaysen Myers, and Slayton Wortham. Big hand for them again, and for the head coach of the Patriots, Granger Shook. Kickoff tomorrow night, 7 o'clock at Russell County. You can follow it live at Pike Road Live. Make sure you don't miss that. And we'll be right back with you again next week right here at the market at John Hall Store for another edition of Patriot Talk.